welcome back to our Montreal. Murder on the Orient Express is one of Agatha Christie's greatest mystery novels. It's about a murder aboard a luxury train through Europe. But there's a new take on the story, a musical comedy with a whole new plot. It's called Dead on the Orient Express. It was custom made for the troupe of I Can Dream Theatre in Montreal, which features an ensemble of special needs adult actors. Masciarelli is the writer and director of the show and one of the co-founders of I Can Dream Theatre. Samuel Lewis plays Detective Hercule Poirot, and they join me in Studio A this week. Sam and Adam, welcome to our Montreal.
Thank you for having us.
Anna, how is your play different from the original Murder on the Orient Express? I mean, apart from adding song and dance numbers, which is pretty new.
Yeah, well, it is. Well, that's what we do. That's who we are. How is it different? It's very different. I mean, there's a murder on the train.
So there's still a murder.
There's still a murder, hence the Dead on the Orient Express. So there's still a murder. And Hercule Poirot is on board. All the characters, most of the characters, are people that were in the movie originally. Some I've created for humorous content. But generally, the majority, I'd say 80%, are characters that people would know. But the story is my own.
Okay.
It's brand new.
How did you end up choosing Murder on the Orient Express?
Last summer,
Yes, yeah.
When we were working on Back to Greece, and some of the cast were at my house when we were rehearsing, and I took the opportunity to ask, is there something that you guys would want to do that we haven't done, or some thoughts? Because I do like to check in with them. And they all came up with a murder mystery would be fun. And I said, okay, and talked about it a bit more and why they thought it would be fun, and how they even gave me ideas as to how it could be funny, right? So they learn as well. And then afterwards just thought about it, and somehow I came up with that. And then, of course, shortly after, the movie came out, the remake, which I said, that's not why I'm doing this. It's got nothing to do with why I'm doing this. So that's how it happened.
And Sam, was this a play that you wanted to do?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's really awesome. This is probably the role that I have in the show is Detective Poirot. It's probably the most ambitious role I've done out of all my years I've been in the group there. And I really get to express myself even more than I did before. And it's really fun to just interrogate everybody and to have that really charismatic way, this unintentionally charismatic way of going about it. And there's just so many things I could express when I'm performing, and I love it. So yeah.
What's one thing you like to express when you're performing it?
I love to it's just different personalities and behaviors that I normally wouldn't be though. The character of Poirot, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but yeah, the character of Poirot, he's not really like me though. I'm not the kind of person who would put people on the spot and everything, and and it's just getting out of that zone, and being somebody else. That's the core of it and everything. So.
Yeah, because Hercule Poirot, he notices every little last detail, as any good detective in a murder mystery does, and he's very confident. But he can also be very I'm going to say stern.
Yes,
He's
absolutely.
a stern character. Is that what you're like normally? Are you a stern person?
I'm not a stern person, no.
I didn't think so. I did not think so. So, Ada, how does the cast help you pick the play? What's their role in, telling you that? Do you normally just go to them and say, hey, what do you want to do next?
You know what? Over the past, I'd say 2 to 3 years, we're trying to involve the cast more. I remember with the last one, they actually helped me with the beginning part. I had no idea. I had a roadblock in my brain. I didn't know how to do this, and actually there was a few of them that just came up with something. I said, I need help with A, B, and C, and they came up with it. I said, I'm using it.
Is it like a song idea, like a line?
No, it was because the Back to the Future was a little convoluted because we had the present characters go back to 1950 to resolve an issue, and I was trying to figure out how to get them back there. So somebody came up with some great ideas, and I ended up using them. So if we can, yeah, and as we go on, sometimes what happens is as we're going into the show, then when they get more into the characters and more into the story, I get a lot of, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that, and yeah.
So they really help you develop the evolution of the story of the play.
Absolutely,
Okay.
they can, yeah.
And what kind of special needs are you dealing with some of the actors?
We have many on the autism spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
and we have also several with Down syndrome. Yeah, it's big.
So how do you customize the play based on those needs?
It's difficult with a large cast. With this one, in order to accommodate more people, because a lot of are interested and they come and audition, we decided to have basically background actors, extras, if you will. So that way, because if you put 31 people in the story in a 2-hour show, it's very hard to do that and still
On a train.
on a train and still maintain a flow to the story.
Right.
In the past, I would have
Like poor
arcs.
detective, like I was going to be like jumping over people.
That's
at
right.
some point.
That's right. This was the first one actually, and you can attest to this, Sam. This was the first one in a couple of years where I didn't need to branch off other stories to accommodate more of the cast, the actors. By having more background people, we were able really to just focus. I mean, there are side stories. Everybody's got a story because everybody's a suspect. So of course they all have a story, but we didn't have to create too many side stories in order to do that.
And Sam, you get to play the brilliant detective, the lead role in the play. What was it like for you to take on a lead?
Well, I mean, it's nothing that new to me. I've been in other plays besides I Can Dream Theater, and where I had like lead roles and stuff. But I mean, this is like my first time in I Can Dream where I really like had a lead role besides playing somebody who's more supporting, more in the lines of supporting character. And this is something I've really I've absolutely enjoyed there. I'm
What's been
very
the most
proud.
difficult part though of having this kind of a role?
What's difficult? Okay, well, there's a lot to remember actually.
Yeah,
but
it's a lead role. There are a lot of lines.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah,
See how big his eyes got?
I know.
I mean, I'm literally doing monologues, and that's something I rarely do. I mean, it's one thing to just have a big moment of dialogue, and I'm talking. We're exchanging sentences to each other. But in this, I'm literally doing these long speeches, and I'm really, while I'm doing it, I'm really putting in these these emotions and everything to make it real. And it's let me tell you it's just a lot to think about and everything. And I guess that's as far as the challenging part goes though. But
it sounds like you're having a great time
totally
with it.
doable though. Yeah, I'm having a really great time of it there, and I have no regrets about about what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. So yeah,
It really much sounds like it. What are some of the challenges that you face with a cast that has different abilities?
With the story, you mean? Doing this? Well, that's part of, as the years have gone on, Sam being one of the people,
Sam can handle a lead role.
now he can.
Yeah.
Now he can. But over the years, he as well as some others have really learned to act. Whereas, if we go back several years back, some of the characters were tapered to who the person was, so it was easier for them to carry that out. Well, that's since gone bye-bye for about the last 4 shows, maybe even 5, where they're actors. These guys are actors. Not only that, they're also singing. And that was new for Sam as well when he got into that. And they're dancing. So it presents its challenges, but what's happening is the more challenges they get, the better they get, the more they increase their acting skills, their singing skills, and then you get to have a lead role because this is what you're doing all the time, and you're showing what you're showing, and you're basically reaching for the stars.
Yep.
Sam, is that what keeps getting you to come back?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very motivating, and it's just I've always been fascinated with performing arts, and this is something I've always wanted to be a part of and everything. I have so much ideas and so much talent that I want to show in this group really gives me the chance to do that there, and that's like, you know, one of the key motivations to show up to rehearsal every morning, you know, and yeah.
Now, you are already a special needs teacher during the day. So are your two other co-founders, and the theater is something that you actually you all volunteer your time to.
Yes.
And a lot of time. So why did you want to create this theater project 7 years ago?
Well, actually, 15 years ago, what years? 15 years ago, 2003, for the school that I work for, this is where it started, and it started by fluke. Because it's a funny story, but it started by fluke, and then we ended up putting on, 3 of us were working there, and we ended up putting on 4 performances over the course of several years. And then in 2011, at that point, and they were very successful, and what we saw, more than the success of the shows, was the success of the cast. We saw what it was giving them personally as well as on stage. We saw, you know, teachers would come to us and say that they're doing really well this year, and all of a sudden they're coming out of themselves, or they're more confident, or they're carrying something that they learned there to their workplace. So that being said, we also knew that there was something here that the community should know about. That you can go and watch a show, and our first time was at the Centaur, actually, with the school. So you can go and watch a performance, and you're sitting and watching a performance. This is a professional. We're hard on them.
It's not a special needs performance. It's not a you know. It's not a charity performance.
No,
this is a professional show.
It's a professional show, absolutely. And we knew that we wanted the community to know more. And we, within a school environment, you're limited a little bit. So we wanted more for them, and we also wanted more for the community, for people who are over 18 and over 21 who don't have some of these things to go to. And that's kind of how that started. So we said, let's do it, and we did.
Sam and Adam, thank you so much for
You're very
joining me.
welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Break a leg.